people no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun the command of the masses. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, Mayegun diary politico. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, this man not dey off in mind. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun.
Good afternoon to you.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
And good evening, if I haven't said that before. So, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary politico.
Thank you very much for joining me. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Invite every young person you know, because this message tonight is likely going to be mostly for them and for everyone.
Mayegun lawamo dododo. Mayegun diary. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé.
Ó ti dé o.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé.
Let me read this out to you. The following names: Mele Kyari, GMD; Humaru Ajia, Chief Finance Officer or Finance and Accounts; Yusuf Usman, Chief Operating Officer; Farouk Garba Sahid, Chief Operating Officer; Mustafa Yakubu, Chief Operating Officer, Refining and Petrochemicals; Adiza Kumasi, Corporate Secretary, Legal Advisor to the Corporation; Humar Ibrahim, Group General Manager, International Energy Relation; Kalamu Abdullahi, GGM, Renewable Energy; Ibrahim Birma, GGM, Governance, Risk and Compliance; Inuwa Waya, MD, NNPC Shipping; Musa Lawan, MD, Pipelines and Product Marketing; Mansour Sambo, MD, Nigeria Petroleum Development Company; Lawal Shade, MD, Duke Oil NNPC Trading Company; Malami Shehu, MD, Port Harcourt Refining Company; Muhammad Haba, MD, Warri Refining Petrochemical Company; Abdul Kadir Ahmed, MD, Nigerian Gas Marketing Company; Salihu Jamari, MD, Nigeria Gas and Power Investment Company Limited; Muhammad Zango, MD, NNPC Medical Services; Sarki Hawalu, Director, Department of Petroleum Resources. One Nigeria, KU there.
lórí Facebook. Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú. Lórí YouTube. Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú. Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Thank you, thank you.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú. Presido bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn làjú.
So this is Sunday sermon, so that I can warn you before you finally settle down with us. Sunday sermon doesn't attract many viewers or many people. You know why? Because it is a no holds bar session on Mayegun's Diary Political. If you have children around, this is the time for you to tell them to excuse you. If you are sharing a device, let's say you are sharing a TV as a family, this segment or this session, Sunday sermon, is not advisable for children because it is a no holds bar. Sometimes I try to control my usage of words, but most of the time I am not obliged to do that. So for your own mental health, if you belong to the category of humans, right, who love to be politically correct, especially when it comes to, as many would say, respecting elders or respecting leaders. On Mayegun's Diary Political, the Sunday sermon that is happening right now, we actually understand that too, respecting those who earn respect. But in this case, we have no apology to any of you who might be somehow offended. No apologies for you. We usually ask you at this point that thank you so much for coming. You may start going now until when something more moderate than this. I am saying this not because I actually love Wahala that much, but somehow, on this platform, if you have been a follower of Mayegun's Diary Political for a long time, you will know that I have built a temple here, a temple of truth, where those who have taken sides with their own oppressors, with their own different slave masters and mistresses, they come on here to drag and slug it out among themselves. And I'm just here, Onile, who bring about the conversation that some of them don't really love to be discussed in public. Because of this, trouble is always around me, not because I look for it, or maybe I do. But the point I'm making here is this: on Mayegun's Diary Political, there are some certain things that some people would prefer not to dabble into or even talk about, because somehow, the social construct of Nigeria has kind of placed them in a different state that somehow they cannot run from. So therefore, they will rather keep mute. But for Mayegun, I no get border, I no get boundary. And that is why today is not going to be an exception. So let's start from why we are even having this chat. We're having this chat because of what politicians, their policies have done to us in decades, right? Or for decades. Now, the last 7 years is more even significant in pushing every one of us to that reality we have been running away from. Reality that there is no one Nigeria. I'll keep reminding you, right? But all of this reality that you are witnessing today, right? They are brought about by politics, politicians, their policies, their own collaborators, which indeed have managed to build a nest of a disjointed, disunited, and almost balkanized country called Nigeria. You may have had your own contribution to it, or you may currently be contributing to it as well. But let us slow it down. Let's start from how and why we are here. We are here because you and I, somehow we have realized that something needed to be done, or else we are doomed. I'll give you instances. APC, Egbekegbe na bad society. APC, Egbekegbe na bad society. APC, Egbekegbe. You might be an APC supporter watching me right now. You don't like me. I know that. I don't like you too. And we both don't pretend, except when some of you suddenly started pretending that you are offended, that Mayegun is not in any way supporting APC. Egbekegbe. Why are you pretending? I'm not an hypocrite. I've never liked you from the word go. And I've stated my reasons. And everything I've said would happen, have happened. They've all happened. So now you no get shame. You still come on Mayegun's diary political. Can't they ask for fairness, equity? Mayegun, you are biased. You are, all of us are, except if some of you are just new recruits. From the word go, when they started forming this jihadi terrorist party, I was one of those who raised the alarms. And that is why many of you actually, if you remember very well. So 8 years after that, you can't come on Mayegun's diary political, they pretend. Anyway, APC, Egbekegbe, they believe that Nigeria is drowning. Do you know that? The same APC, Egbekegbe, I'm talking about the clan of cyberbarians, the Buhari idiots. Yeah, you remember them? The Buhari Dins, the Buhari Didanis, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaaris, the Saliu Haris, obedient fools, sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves of this world. 8 solid years they defended the terror that enveloped Nigeria from 2015. Only for them to turn around and start saying they want to rescue Nigeria from APC. Not be madness, be that. So then they come on to Mayegun's diary political and they're like, we are trying to save Nigeria. Hashiwaju is coming to come and rescue. This one is coming. Calm down. It simply means that you two, as Lagos Abobaku or Oshogbo Alimajiri, or maybe you are just Aslika on your own, maybe yours is just a crumb chasing, or you are just a crumb chaser, or maybe yours is like those who are loving Nigeria from abroad, but they will never, ever have anything to do with Nigeria and their families, like never, other than just to come and check on you if you are dead yet or not. I'm talking about your uncles, your aunties, those lost ones, right? In America, in all over the place, the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers. For 8 solid years, you did this one. You killed and killed and killed. You empowered terrorists. Now you have turned the same Nigeria oil to free for all. 700,000 barrels of crude oil stolen every day in Nigeria. Do you know how much that is? That's over $300 million every day. Nobody they account for them. Do you think they don't know who are stealing them? Now, after 8 years, when many of you are now jobless, millions of you are at home right now, you can't go to school, and it is all messed up. You know that, Abi? After 8 years, they agreed that more Buhari don't ruin everything. Buhari has destroyed everything. Like, is everything don't propagate. Now they want to rescue Nigeria that is sinking. The one that they sank. Abi? Then on the other hand, you have the articulated morons, articulated mugus, articulators, and the rest of the articulated scammers who are also pretending to come and rescue you. I was one of those who didn't believe them, and I've always never believed them. You know why? Because you know the antecedent. Cut the long story short, on Mayegun's Diary Politico, yeah? Those who ruined Nigeria, and those of you who have taken sides with them, you are all here to rescue Nigeria. Then the new entrants, the obedient, or you may, I have you here, I read your comment all the time. The obedient. If you want to be respectful, you call them obedient. If you want to really show your real colors, everybody, they throw water right now, yeah? Now you can call them obedience. Obedience. Like, just if you want to get any of them angry. But on Mayegun's Diary Politico, me, Onile, I am now here to speak to you as somebody that has also taken sides. Sure, you know, even though it seems that, those of you who want to rescue Nigeria, now your season, you day, where you can say anything, everything, and as usual, all talk, no action. Me self don't take side. Nobody day neutral. Don't let anybody lie to you. When it comes to the wahala you are witnessing in Nigeria, all these things you are witnessing in Nigeria today, don't let anybody lie to you. The genesis of it is the politics, the tribal politics that was hidden when they forced the unitary system on everyone when we were never supposed to be unitary system. Do you understand that now? So as it is, that politics is what made you believe that at APCO, at PDPO, they should go to hell. Now Obi go rescue you. Do you know that's the politics of choice too, Abi? You are not in any way neutral. So if I now sit down here, like some of them would, sometimes, most times ask, they do ask, not because they didn't know, but they just love to. Mayegun, where do you even belong? They wanted me to indeed pitch my tent, right? With either the Tifnumbu, Egbekegbe, or Atifku, the articulated Mugus, or I should join the obedient. And they were pretending, or maybe again, let me just put it this way. That same politics of make everybody just carry his own cross now and believing that your cross, if it burns you, be responsible for the consequences of it. So I've taken sides too. Do you know the side I've taken? To rescue Nigeria. Break it up. I'll continue to remind you. I know 75% of you who have fallen into that part of you want to rescue Nigeria through Tifnumbu, lying to yourselves. You want to rescue Nigeria or unite Nigeria through Atifku. Or you want to build Nigeria through Obi. Without your choice, on our side, I chose something that will relieve you of all your miseries. Let me tell you how politics affects all of us. Or why me, a Yoruba man, who is from a nation called, a nation of people called Yorubas, Yoruba nation, a proud Yoruba son, like some of you. But I'm not going to say because your own tent is being pitted or pitched at, one of these camps that are saying they want to rescue you in Nigeria, right? I'm still going to admit that you are what? You are who you are before Nigeria. You are also a Yoruba man and woman, as I can see. But here is something. The reasons why you are worked up today as a Yoruba man about other people from other part of Nigeria today is because you are part of Nigeria. You know that. If a Yoruba man says, Igbo man is this or that, and Igbo man turned around and said, Yorubas are this or that, then everybody turned around and said, Hausa this or Fulani that. Do you know why we are all like that and shouting at ourselves on top of our lungs? It's because we're all forced together in a place without our consent. Take that as number one. Because without that, yeah, I won't sit down and be screaming at someone from Tema in Ghana. I won't be condemning somebody from somewhere in South Africa. You know why? Because their own affair has been, in a way, segregated as they have demarcated Africa, so to say. Or you see that of Nigeria, it would have been a different ball game if indeed the criminals who abolished what our own forebearers signed up for before the independence, right? If they didn't abolish that and force this unitary system of government, which has now turned to the turn by turn Nigeria Limited, the one that makes me or will make you to suspect me, be suspicious, be very careful. Oh. That's how we live, isn't it? Now, let me tell you how more these politics affect us. They forced us together without any idea how they were going to make us live together. And as I have lived long enough in my life, I have realized that, politicians in Nigeria have said almost, to put it this way, they always have all the solutions when they don't have that power. Then, when they have the power, they always have all the excuses why it is not working. But you and I know why it is not working. And I'll tell you about them. Maybe I'll just remind you of them. In Nigeria, as you would agree with me, first thing first that you would ordinarily not dispute is the forceful amalgamation of nations with different ideology in politics or religion, different culture and tradition, and so many other things then most importantly, difference in languages. Now, we have a barrier to cross. If you want to build unity in anywhere, it starts from respecting one another's belief or tradition. Start with that. Now, in Nigeria, as you have it, the northern part of Nigeria, they have a template, a kind of a feudal system of a governance, the one that makes not even kind of feudal system where the people are subjects and the leaders are supreme, mostly appointed or anointed or elected, as they will say, or selected with religious rights or laws, and so to say, things that is more related to them as a people in choosing their leadership and all of that as they will choose. And down south in Nigeria, of where you call Nigeria today, you have a kind of cosmopolitan, egalitarian society where people's belief and culture as well is kind of far different from that of the northern Nigeria, and is a bit freer. Now they are in the same country where normally where people should be having culture clashes. Culture clashes is when you go to an area or you move to a new place and you discover that their way of life is so different from yours or from where you're coming from or from what you really knew growing up. Then You have to learn how to blend theirs and yours together in order for you to be able to coexist with them peacefully in a normal society. Culture clash. So in Nigeria, you have clashes of almost everything: culture, tradition, religion, politics, way of life, many, many things. Then politicians who actually understood this very well, right? They know that it is the fire line, a kind of a gun powder that is sort of sprinkled like that, like a form of a trap, yeah. And all it takes is just one ignition of a match or fire, and it was just going to travel with the speed of light. If you dare begin to address these differences. So, what did they do? We are all then have to live in the world that these visionless, self-centered, greedy, selfish human beings lay before us. You know what that means? It simply means that you know the problems. They know the problems. They know the solution. Now, if they don't know the solution, right, there is a solution that is not in tandem with the Nigeria they actually wanted to create, this Nigeria that you have today. So therefore, it can be discarded, and this ruinous one must be religiously pursued. In politics, many of you don't have interest in politics. And you know why? Because they have made sure that you will never have any reason to be interested in it except the only reason they have created. What is that reason? Just to be criminally rich. If you want to be extremely criminally rich, where you don't have to produce anything and you can be a multi-billionaire in Nigeria, just join politics. That's the impression of it. Or that's exactly what it represents. Not service, not anything that has to do with governance. So many people there, and to now gain access in, then you must be ready to do all of the most horrible things, unthinkable things, in order for you to break into that circle. So many of us have decided for a very long time, or mostly discouraged, to get involved in politics or be involved in decision making of your own community, starting from your own communities. No, I don't want to go and start doing rituals because I want to be counselor. No, I don't want to start going. I don't want to become this or that because I want to be counselor. I don't have money to share to be counselor. And the rest of those things that pushed you away. Therefore, politics was now left for criminals. You know them. You celebrate them. You call them honorables. You call them distinguished, this or that. Some of you even call them excellencies. You see them, you tremble. You see them, you tremble. You see them, you shake. You see them, you be happy. But many of you, in your own inner minds, you know what they did to get there. But surprisingly, you also wanted to see them do something good when you actually know how they got there, all the processes and all of that. Yeah. It's kind of a counterproductive, they say. But how do these then come to haunt the rest of us? It is very simple. You now have charlatans. You have career criminals. You have certificate forgers. You have
419ers, manipulators, fraudsters who have now occupied all the sensitive decision-making positions all over the land. And sadly, many of them, or all these positions, are manned by people who speak your language, people who actually look like you, whether they are Hausa, or whether they are Fulani, or whether they are Igbo, or they are Yoruba, or whoever they are, wherever they come from. When you look inward, then you will begin to you begin to get what I'm trying to get to you, how politics affect our lives. So today, it's easier. This shouldn't be a fight of any, to agree together now that with what they have made of Nigeria, you can agree with me that Nigeria has been in the hands of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of humans from the word go. If not, prove me wrong. If you have had it any time in any day or in any century of its sort, right? Better as humans or under that aegis of a name of a Nigeria. No, we haven't. Now, you see what happened, right? In the situation of Nigeria, you know what then happened? When criminals who have now, who have managed to assemble army of violent, young and old criminals to keep them or ward you off, keep them in that control. What did they do? The criminals employed rogues, rogue economists, rogue policy writers and formulators. Since criminals are those who made it to your National Assembly, making laws that are never to unite Nigeria, but they are laws to further divide the Nigerian people, but continue to what? To accumulate the resources that are meant for the same people to themselves. Privatization of the people's resources. Why is that? Because they had access. They have access to power. The one that some of you ignorantly gave to them, and you will do it again and again and again. And also, you are going to suffer it again and again and again, only if you are going to be the only one suffering it. That is where the politics affects all of us. Now, when the criminals now have the power to control the military, right? Then what do? They infiltrate and corrupt the military. How? They would then begin, they started recruiting people not by their qualifications, their competence, their patriotism. They started recruiting people based on religious, tribal, and then ethnic, identity, put it that way. Now, what happened? Impunity. Impunity in a system that was built not for you, not to solve Nigeria problem, not to unite Nigeria, not to prosper Nigeria, not to protect Nigerians, but it is just to keep the contraption going, operational, and at the same time, keep all the stakeholders, the investors, your criminal politicians, and then I'm still coming back to that of the elite, the religious leaders who are making this work for them as well. However, governments control our lives. You can't print your own money except they print you one. You know that? No, you can't. Even though you have to build your own houses, government doesn't build houses that are meant for the people. When they do, they build for themselves and they sell them to themselves, who are also going to, you know the story anyway. So You can't go out there and refine, and extract your own crude oil and say, oh, I have found gold on my land. I'm going to extract it. It's mine. No, you can't, except the government gives you a license for it. You are not even born, except they give you a birth certificate. Who gives you the birth certificate? The government. Who is the government? Who are the people in that government? The greedy, selfish, self-centered, Nigerians, from you, from me, from your tribe, from my tribe, from your ethnic nationality, from your religion, from my religion, from every part of Nigeria contributing to that. They are that government, from that your local government, including that your royal father too. They are all part of it. You know that. You are not even born. You don't exist. Whether they have to forge one for you, but without a birth certificate, you don't exist. And who gives a birth certificate? The government. Now, you are not dead. If the government doesn't issue you a death certificate, maybe not so much in Nigeria anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. You are not dead. That is the power that you have given to criminals who are ethnic jingoists, religious fanatics, selfish, self-centered individuals who continue to propagate patriotism, but their actions, their deeds are nothing patriotic. You know that. Now you give them all the power. Government, whether na military, whether na FIDI, sovereign national SNG, sovereign national government, whatever you want to give to it, whether now your local government or your state governor, whatever, you see the authority you give to those thugs to make laws on your behalf. Check all the laws they are making and check how many of them they are actually obeying themselves. Then you understand what I'm trying to say here. Morality is dead. They have no moral. They have no human feelings. They have nothing that will eventually make you feel like maybe they're actually one of you, except for those of you who are painting that image of they are one of us. It's a Yoruba man. You are just being dafty. A dafty. They called, somebody will be suegbe, didn't. We jump and see a politician say, he's an Igbo man. I trust him. He's an Igbo man. I have to support him. Oh, he's an Hausa man. That's why I support him. Oh, he's a Yoruba man. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go and support Igbo? Do you want me to go and support Hausa? You are just a social construct of a textbook definition of a mugu. The politicians don't see you as one of them. If they did see you as one of them, that should reflect in the policies they are making. But it didn't, and it won't, because they don't see that way. They don't. And that is why when people say every day for the thief, one day for the owner, that's not a good thing. It's actually not a good thing, especially when they tell you that this is where the religion part of it comes in. When they say, let these people one day they are going to pay the supreme price. You will see what God will do to them. You don't joke with God, the prayers of the poor people. You will see what will happen to them. Nothing is going to happen to them. Nothing. It is like this where they say, 99 days for the thief, one day for the owner. Omo, now who can enjoy pass? Shena the owner or the thief? Somebody stole everything from you for 99 years. From one generation to another generation, to another generation, to another generation. They don't use them. Your own children, children. They have died in the poverty they created. And they are telling you that 99 days for the thieves, one day for the owner. Because one day you are going to see that thief, Abi. Maybe he's got stroke. Or maybe they said they have rushed him to hospital. Which hospital? They've rushed him to America. They've rushed him to London. And you are saying God is punishing them. No, that's not true. 99 years, 1 day for the owner. Now, who can enjoy pass? The owner or the thief? So don't buy that. They use religion to tell you that you don't have, you've lost it all, and you should keep it that way. Because as it is, it's a lost battle. There's nowhere you want to run to. They have conquered you. They have cornered you as a people. You better just choose a side and live on the crumb they give or offer you. This is the choice before you. And that's where the politics that I was trying to tell you there, that that's where it touches you, it touches me. Rogues in charge of your government, they have to make the laws. They have to appoint and select those who are going to become policemen. Do you understand this? When the people that you have in charge of the day-to-day affair of a country, starting from the local government level to the federal level, when all of them, they have no one ideology. If I ask you right now, what is Nigeria dream? If you see somebody now, they say, what is the American dream? They are likely going to tell you, I'm not an American, no. I believe that the moment somebody is, when somebody is doing fine, you've got a job, or let me say, you are somebody who migrated to America with nothing, and within 2 years, you become a resident, and then after that, you've got a job, and before you know it, you are now living better. So to them, that is you living your American dream. You can now afford to drive a $40,000 car. Really? Now you have a job that pays you over $150,000 annually. Now you can go on vacation with your family. You can afford things that you used to dream about in your country. Now you are in America after 2-3 years. Nobody say you they do drug or anything, like Tifnumbu, but like normal. Yeah, you got settled, you know that stuff. Americans will tell you that is American dream, the land of opportunity, the land of dreamers. You will dream about America and your dream will come true. People say not all the dreams anyway. But if I ask you today, what is a Nigerian dream? You as a Nigerian, there's no ideology, nothing. If you ask a northerner, what is your Nigerian dream? A northerner, just if it's opportune that they manage to let him, is to sit through his education, right? A northerner will tell you, if he's not contemplating of working for government, he is contemplating of getting from this Nigeria, of getting the money to start a business that you have not heard about, or the one they have told you it's impossible, you cannot do it, they have banned it, right? A northerner can break that, use that his own Nigerian dream. It can be in a civil service, right, for 20 years, right? And you may say, no be this Audu, when no go secondary school, where it will become a permanent secretary. Why? But when you talk to a Southerner, what is Nigerian dream? I'm talking to you right now. I'm a Southerner. What is your Nigerian dream? Most of them will tell you now to Japa. I'm not joking, no. Some of them will have no answer, because what is my Nigerian dream? What is your Nigerian dream? I'm talking to you. No, listen, I've told you, let's leave APC, PDP, OB and everything. Now, I want to talk to you about how all these politics and your choices can actually are affecting you. You are not paying attention. So your choice is your choice, but there is a choice that can put an end to this mystery. Listen to me. I have chosen that. It's not popular among you, okay? But I'm asking you, what is your Nigerian dream? As a Nigerian, as a Southerner right now, watching this video, watching this broadcast, do you have any? Do you have any leader in Nigeria, like in Nigeria history, who have once in the past, right, came out with an idea or ideal about this Nigeria that everyone, whether na Hausa or Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Ijo, Nupe, Yegun, Ijebu, Egba, everybody keyed into it, and everybody keyed into it enough that they started building on it. Have you ever seen any in your lifetime? I don't know how old you are. I'm 38 years old now, right? I'm going to be 39 years old in about 4 months or 5 months now, okay? I'm going to be, in fact, it's going to be 4 months. In 4 months' time, I'm going to be 39. In my lifetime, okay? I have not seen anybody, any leadership, whether in a political party, whether in a political group, or for anywhere in control of Nigeria with anything called Nigeria ideal. This is Nigeria, dream. There's none. But if you meet a Southerner, they will tell you, gone are the days. Some of you watching me right now in your 50s, you are in your 50s, you are in your 60s, Abi. Gone are your days where many of you, right? Many of you were made by poor parents whose dream back then were to see you go to school, get education, right? And become empowered and progressive, productive, and then give back to the same society that you are going to live in. Shebi, so many of you went to that school, didn't you? You graduated. Some of you, before you even graduated, they told us so. They said many of you, especially in southern Nigeria, there were jobs already waiting for you before you were even confirmed from your schools that you have graduated. So those could be a dream. I remember many of you then had dreams of becoming a teacher. Oh, I wanted to be a teacher. Right there. And you grew up to be that teacher. Some of you, you regretted the day you now, probably when you finally retired as a teacher, they now started telling you your reward, this Nigeria, or this earth. They say your reward now every day. You go collect them there. Your salaries are not regularly paid, even though you are poorly paid. Now, I'm talking about all of you who had dreams in the early 60s, maybe 70s. Today, ask those Indomie generation now. Ask those Gen Z, as they call them, the Indomie generation. Ask them about their dream. Benny, what is your Nigerian dream? About my Nigerian dream is to japa and love Nigeria from abroad. Even though the japa is becoming even worse and worse every now and then. But people will always japa anyway. And as you can see, Nigeria will continue to push the best of us out of Nigeria so that the worst of Nigeria can continue to be in charge of Nigeria. Dig. You suppose dig. So when the worst of Nigeria, who have proven to all of us that they are the worst of Nigeria, and they are there, making laws. They are not just making laws. They are signing contracts. They are printing money. They are borrowing money. And all of this, they are pumping fuel. They are pumping crude oil. They are stealing 700,000 barrels of that every day. So what did they do? You gave them power. They are now government. No ideology, no vision, no nothing. Just everywhere beleface or anywhere beleface. Nigeria. And everybody is there. Everybody can't live like everybody they inside asylum. I don't know how many of you have watched some of these horror movies. Horror movies where people become zombies. Zombies. You know that human beings, once they bite you like this, you become zombie. You'll be like, you are looking for somebody where you go bite too. That's exactly what they have turned Nigerians into. You can't get zombie A, zombie B, zombie C, or zombie block A, zombie block C, zombie block here, and everybody just be zombie everywhere. They can't look for who to bite, so that you yourself go can't bite. You could back like a castrated dog, fighting for waiting, fighting to defend the same oppressors who turned you to that zombie like that. I'm not kidding. But the way they affect you is this. Criminal politicians, criminal roguish politicians, crooked politicians, they will be the ones to then sanction the recruitment into the military. Therefore, the recruitment will be corrupted. They will be in charge of recruitment into the police, and the recruitment will be corrupted. They will be in charge of recruitment into parastatals, ministries, civil services, and the rest. But guess what? The entire thing is corrupted. The entire machinery of state is corrupted. Corrupt. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the effect of that is this. A police officer who has not been paid because the Minister of Police Affairs desired to have a big mansion that is befitting his status as the new Minister of Police Affairs. It can no longer be seen anyhow. That former 3-bedroom face me, I face you he was living is no longer good for his status. A minister, what are you saying? He can no longer drive in one car. He needs a convoy of it. To put all of this package together, they need to steal the police money, police pension, police salary, and everything that has to do with police development. They need to keep the lifestyle of the minister and everybody around him, his family members, his girlfriends, his boyfriends, all that. They have to maintain him. That's exactly what the system encourages. You're not going to appoint a minister, are you? It is when you select a criminal to be your presidiot, it begins to appoint other criminals into different places. Rather than them to touch your lives, they begin to improve on their own lives. So that police officer who knows that his salary is not paid, and he knows that the person that is feeding fat on his salary is no other person than the man that is in charge of his own affairs. And they are like in their hundreds of thousands, by the way. I think Nigeria police has about 300,000 of them. It's just like when the termites are protecting the coin. So you know what I'm saying? The termites, they protect their coin. When they look for food, they make sure that their coin feed first before any of them will then eat. It's just like that. Vampires. Unfortunately, a police officer needs to survive. Where do you think is going to take out that frustration? You guess right. On you. The politicians will give him uniform. Politicians will give him guns. Politicians will give him bullets, but they won't pay him salary. He should go and fend for himself. Then this mad, drunk, frustrated, poor police officer will jump on the street. Hey, hold it. Wait till you carry. Hey, hold it. Wait till you carry. Okay, wait till you get for us. You will now see police officer. You will want to pity them. And say, police, Nigeria police. But guess what? The best of them are going to be selected to provide security for everyone responsible for taking their money. They can't fight it, creating the zombies. And they are looking for who to bite. Who are they biting? You. NSAS, NSAC, NSAS, NSAC. Who created NSAS? Who created SARS? Who created all of them? The system created them, biting you. Some of you who they couldn't bite, they just kill you. To the point that Nigerian police that should be investigating kidnappers, investigating organ harvesters. The same Nigeria police force, they are now the ones being arrested for armed robbery. Police officer being arrested for kidnapping. Police officer being arrested for extortion. You are looking at that police officer, Abi. You are not looking at the system that created the police officer, which indeed is also an aberration that is also meant to stifle life out of you. But again, one Nigeria progress. One Nigeria unity. Ma paro funra e. Continue to lie to yourselves. Same thing happens. They won't even limit there, right? Then the impunity continues, the corruption continues, that you need also to buy your way through the ranks in order for you to get the promotion that will likely put you at the spotlight, that will open you up to more money. Corrupt system creates the corrupt people creates corrupt system. The corrupt system corrupts everyone. And when everyone is corrupt, we are all doomed. Break it up to save the lives. I am asking you, break it up now to save your lives. There's no ideology that says this is how it's going to end. But I can tell you, free of charge is not going to end well. It's not. Crooked criminals who takes over your government also are the ones who are going to make monetary policies for you. Aha. Talking about economy. It is in an economy that if you have a business, and your business is booming, you will pay taxes to government. Government will make more money from you. Okay? If you are a student, right, and you graduate, and you found jobs, and you are working, the moment you start working, you see that education the state gave to you, all the education you get, if they gave you one, that is why if criminals are not the ones, all of you are empowering, shouting APC, shouting PDP, shouting your oppressors here and there. If those criminals are not the ones you are electing, Abi,